Sport mode is the competitive mode of Gran Turismo 7, where all players play online in competitive races to try to be the best of the best. And if you didn't know, there's more than 1.4 million players in Gran Turismo 7 Sport mode, but less than 1% ever reach to A+. I, myself, am an A+ driver. But today, I decided to start documenting the journey of what it would take to get from E to A+. And this will hopefully show you what you need to do if you want to get there too. So in this race, I'm going to show you a few tips that you can use to get much better results in your races and potentially a few wins. So stick around, because this is going to be a good one. So the way the ranking system in Gran Turismo 7 Sport mode works is you have two ratings to focus on. One is the driver rating and the other was the safety or sportsmanship rating. Your driver rating effectively determines how skilled you are at racing. And this is divided into several different ranks that you can achieve. You start all the way from the bottom at E rank, and then you scale all your way up through D, C, B, A, and A+ ranking. The way how you start in Gran Turismo 7 Sport mode is that you first do 5 races as an E rank driver, and these races will not affect your driver rating score, but it will give you a good introduction to what Gran Turismo 7 Sport mode is. However, the fact that it doesn't affect your score doesn't mean that it is not important to start getting good results at this point and learn some racecraft that you can take over into D rank. So this race will serve as an example of what you should and should not do when you start racing as an E rank driver. So no more time to waste. Let's go to the track. We are starting, I think I saw somewhere around P13 or 14 for this one. So we have a couple D-rated drivers in this race. So we're actually P12, it looks like. So what I'm gonna just do, I'm just gonna drop back. I'm not gonna start from P12. I'm just gonna let the 3 drivers behind me to drop back. Apparently we have Super GT1 in the grid as well. So maybe Steve is trying to do an E to A+ journey as well. Oh, we're actually gonna start right in the middle of the corner. Okay. Let's let these guys pass. And there we go. And if this is your very first competitive race in sport mode as an E-rank driver, it's very normal to feel nervous and overwhelm a little bit. So just try to take a very good breather before you start the race. Oh yeah, one thing that I need to remember about these lobbies is the amount of ghosting that you find. We have our first crash, 2 actually, and 1 track limit penalty ahead of us. Okay, so that's a move. And I didn't hit him. So we're good to go. Oh. 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 Sorry. Uh-oh. Ooh, the weight balance on this. It's kind of insane. I have not driven the Porsche in this category that much. And sometimes quite a very typical mistake that some rookie drivers can make is just not finding that settlement and sympathy with the car, or at least getting used to a car that they like. So another good tip in this case is just find a car and stay with that same car for the first couple of races so that you can find your flow with it. With the first race of the evening, and we already spun out a little bit right before the corkscrew. Uh-oh. Oh. Sorry. Yeah, this is what you get. This is what you sometimes find around in here. Studying the car and track combo can be also a very good tip right here. So in this case, this driver actually brakes quite a lot into this left kink, which tends to be a little bit more of a faster corner. So it caught me by surprise and I couldn't avoid him on time. That's why I ended up bumping him from the rear. Oh. Uh-oh, we're going to the sand as well. Oh, jeez. Yeah, this portion's a little tricky. Not gonna lie. And this has happened to all of us as well. Sometimes we just push a little bit beyond the limit and go out the track. But the key is not to get desperate. Just try to rejoin the track as safely as possible without having a spin or a moment that will slow you down even more than you already did. Sometimes keep the calm. Right, we have 27 seconds if we want to get to the lead. Which is quite a lot, even in this lobby. We have a soft tire ahead. And just to give you a little bit more context on this one, the optimal strategy for this particular race, which had a strategy between hard and soft tires, was to use approximately 7 laps of soft tires and 6 laps of hard tires. So the fact that the first place ended up pitting his soft tires after 3 laps showed that he didn't really know too much about the strategy. The ideal thing is to watch other drivers either on other videos or live streams or anywhere else and get familiar with which strategies they're using in these races so that you can then use that optimal strategy to your advantage as well. Right, let's see what we do against Darko. Oh. Okay, he doesn't want to get past, I suppose. And this can be quite typical to find in some of these first races. Some people could get a little bit extra defensive. So the key here is to be patient and wait for the moment that a move opens up so that you can take that position without any risk. Really had to slow down right there. Oh. Yep, avoided that one. So let's analyze a little bit more what happened right there. The driver got already overtaken by me, and then he wanted to try to get that position back, but completely missed his braking point into the corkscrew, which made him go straight into the sand. And that is another key point that you should take when you do your first few races. If you lose one position, it's not the end of the world, and it's definitely not the end of the race. So don't try to get overly excited to try to get that position back up to the point that you made a crucial mistake that will lose you even more time in the race. Yellow flags. Oh, there we go. There's another one. Unfortunately for the Italian driver right here, breaks into turn 1 and then starts accelerating way too early out of the corner, puts him into the sand, and then tries to push out of the sand, and in doing so ends up spinning the car and losing even more positions. Casualties galore. Yeah, I didn't expect any less from this combo in these lobbies, to be fair. It's very complex, very complex. Even like top split drivers sometimes struggle with this, so I wouldn't imagine how it is for people that are only starting. Okay, let's see what happens in front of us right here. Someone's going off the track. Awful rejoin that one. Oh my god, it's kicking off. Kick it off. Let me just brake right here. Nope. Oh. Sorry. And you may find yourself into situations where you're going to see a pack of drivers right in front of you trying to fight for a position. The idea here is not to get involved into that fighting yourself, because more than likely one of them, if not both, is going to make a mistake that you can then capitalize after the exit of your corner if you keep your lines correctly. As long as you don't put yourself into risky situations, you're going to end up benefiting much more out of the fight. Right, I'm just gonna pit on this lap. get the softs on. All right, they're kicking off right ahead of us. It's gonna get messy. Let's try to see what we can doing here. Okay, I'm not alongside enough. Oh, okay. I didn't touch him. I promise you that I didn't touch him. And that right there is the perfect evidence of how being patient and avoiding getting into unnecessary battles can help you capitalize positions into a race based on other drivers' mistakes. Oh! That was a lot of sliding. I wouldn't want to be on the outside here. Let me just switch back. I hit the red limiter right at that moment. Oh. Okay, we got the line right here. Oh! If it wasn't for the ghosting, I would have gotten T-boned right there. Ha. 18 seconds. From P3. 17 seconds. It's cutting back down quickly. And something tells me that P1 hasn't gone into the pits. I don't think he knows. Something tells me that he doesn't know. And the advice right here is to always read the race regulations so that you know which rules apply to your race, specifically in Daily Race C, which has an element of strategy involved. You might have to do a mandatory pit stop or multiple tires, so always make sure that you comply with those two rules. Right, we're just catching up with that. I think it's a Ferrari ahead. Yeah. Catching up very quick. So we... Oh. I took that corner awfully. Way too hot. Right, we might have a chance at the podium anyway. Yeah, I was gonna hit him if I tried to keep that line because I knew that he was just gonna try to take off. So let me just wait. I just want to have no contact. And like I mentioned at the start of the video, you have two rankings to focus on, your driver ranking and your safety or sportsmanship ranking. And the safety or sportsmanship ranking basically dictates how clean you race and whether you get too involved into crashes or collisions or incidents with other drivers. So the important key right here is that by being patient, you avoid less incidents, and in doing so, you improve your safety ranking, which is very important to keep at the top when you start sport mode. Okay.
Ha, gotcha.
Yeah, it's gonna go wide. Oh, hello, hello. He essentially used me to be able to make the corner and essentially to break himself up. And yeah, yeah. How do you call that? And I don't know how to call it. I'm gonna have to find a definition or a term for those kinds of attempts. So let's walk through what happened once again in that sequence. The driver right here overshoots this corner and tries to redefend the position with a little bit of contact, stays right there but compromises his exit into the next corner, then tries to squeeze to not lose that position from the outside line, but again ends up compromising his line and exit once again. So that gives me a good run to get the position. Bear in mind, I had soft tires and he was on hard tires, which were already pretty worn out. So that already gives me quite the tire advantage. And then in trying to do so, he wants to get the position back by braking super late, but ends up overshooting the corner completely. Thanks to the ghosting, I didn't end up being hit, but he ends up going straight into the sand. But it's a classic, really. It's, the moment where you just like lose a position in those lower lobbies and you just do anything that you can do to get that place back. And yeah. And if you notice at the top left corner, the driver in P1 decided to pit at the very end of the last lap. This is not allowed in Gran Turismo Sport mode, so make sure that you pit one lap before the end of the race. So I think P1 tried to finish in the pits, and it's not gonna work. He's gonna have that 1 minute penalty. And the German in front, I'm not sure if he pitted, but either way, we're gonna have a podium on the first one. Excuse me. Oh, we actually won. Both of them didn't go into the pits, so yeah, we actually won it. All right. So there you have it, guys. Hopefully these tips will help you cruise your way through e-lobbies and even beyond. So if you like this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you want to see how I improve my lap times using the Ghost in Gran Turismo 7, make sure to click this video right here.